Hi guys, and welcome to the video version of my website accessibility mini audit blog post series. Uh, October is Disability Awareness Month, so in the spirit of that, I'm going to do a video walkthrough of this website, Parramatta Park, which I really feel nails the accessibility experience. My favorite parts, I could go into a lot on this website, I think, but I'm just going to touch on kind of the high level and my most favorite things in the navigation bar, the color contrast, and their forms. So I was really happy to stumble across this website because I don't have a lot of websites I can think of that have a truly accessible experience. And this one, I feel like they've put a lot of thought into that. So Parramatta Park is a big park in Australia. It looks like they've got 85 hectares. I think that's an Australian term for measurement. But it's a giant park with lots of stuff. And so, you can rent things, and I think that they're focused on making sure that the park itself is accessible. So it makes sense to me that they created a website that is accessible as well. So I'm going to start with the navigation bar. I may or may not have freaked out a little bit when I found this website because the website navigation bar itself is fully operable and I'm able to navigate it using only my keyboard. It's amazing. I don't get stuck. I can use the drop downs, I can see the focus indicators, and I can skip to the main content. So those are all things that are on my checklist for, is this an accessible navigation? And I think the reason I love that so much is because when I'm looking to see how accessible a website is, the first thing I do is test out the navigation and can I get through it with a keyboard only. This will tell me a lot about how much thought has been put into this, and if it works really well with just my keyboard, it also means that this website is more likely to be working well with screen reader technology too. So I commonly find that the navigation is really hard to get through without my mouse, and Parramatta Park's website does a really good job of this. So here's my favorite things about the navigation. I'm going to walk you through it here. I'm only going to use my tab keys and my arrow keys. So if I'm tabbing, the first thing I see here is the skip to main content button that appears at the bottom of the page. This is a key and basic accessibility thing that should be on all websites, because if somebody's only navigating using their tabbing keys and their arrow keys, they're going to have to go through every single item in the navigation before they get to the content. So if you're allowing those people to just skip the navigation altogether, that's gold. It's great. And I also love how bold and obvious this is. So yeah, I'm going to keep going. And my other favorite part here is watch as I tab through the navigation. You see those bold purple lines around? Those are focus indicators. And I love that Parramatta Park, whoever did this website, they kind of went beyond what the default focus indicators are. Every browser has their own kind of default version for this, but they kind of went above and beyond that and made it a lot more bold, a lot more noticeable, a lot more intentional. A lot of websites tend to, whether it's intentional or not, get rid of those. And, if you're not using a mouse and you're using your keyboard or a screen reader, it can be really difficult to visually understand where you are on the website. That's why they're so important. And when they're gone, there's really just no way for you to navigate. So I love what they did here. It's just so extremely obvious where I am, and there's really no question. And the good part about this is if I were to keep going, you can see that they continue these focus indicators all the way through the website. When I'm on a button, it's obvious. When I'm on any kind of clickable link, it's very obvious. And I'll walk you through that in a minute too. But in my opinion, the best part is that I can use these drop-down menus with my keyboard only. This is so rare. I see so many websites that almost nail the accessibility experience and the navigation, but then if there's a drop down, I can't access it, or sometimes it'll just skip over that whole link and I can't even get to that main page. So I was really excited to find this. So right now you can see I'm on the Plan Your Visit tab. If I just use my down key right now, I am able to get through every single item in this navigation. It is amazing. Like I said, here's those focus indicators again too around the text links, and then as I go through the images, you see that purple overlay. It's good. And if I just keep going, I'm going to keep going through all these different drop downs, but I can very easily just get to where I need to go. It's almost easier than using my mouse. I mean, honestly, it's fantastic. You know, I could probably geek out about this for a long time, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to get all the way back. Look, I'm going to go back to my skip to main content button and hit enter. And now I'm down into the main content. And I'm just going to tab through, and look here, you can see those focus indicators again. I just wanted to show you that. It's really nice that you can just so visually see where you are in the website. The other thing I really love about this website is their color contrast. It's very important to make sure that like your text is legible for all sorts of varying levels of visual abilities, and things like, you know, blurry vision or color blindness, or even for people who don't necessarily have a disability but are in a situation that makes it difficult to read a screen. If you're out in the sunlight and sometimes you can't see the screen very well, the higher the contrast is, the easier it is going to be to read your content. So obviously this is very important, and Parramatta Park does a really good job of this. There was a couple spots when I landed on this website, I was like, I don't think those meet the guidelines. Like, I was trying to catch them out in failing to meet, but I was wrong. If you look down in the footer here, these links with the plan your visit, places to go, things to do, that purple text on top of that dark gray background, I thought for sure did not meet the accessibility guidelines, but it does. I double checked the hex values and it passes. So I was just really impressed with that. And also I really like this part at the top of the page where this carousel text box has a gradient. It has some background gradients and graphics. However, the text is still extremely legible. And I thought this is a really good example of a way to be creative within the accessibility guidelines. You know, these don't have to limit you. They can challenge you and lead to something really cool for literally everybody. So yeah, I was really impressed by this. I also wanted to show you guys a form, and I thought this is a really great example of an accessible form. So I'm going to go to their contact page and look at their online inquiry form right here. So a couple of things I really like. The field labels here, they're above the fields, which means visually I could just like go down the line and get a really quick indication of what these fields are. When the fields and labels are stacked like this with the title and the field, title and field, it's just visually a lot easier to read and understand. The selected field, if I click into the name field right here, you can see it's really obvious that I'm clicked into this particular field. There's a dark purple border around it. The background color changed. It's just really easy to understand where I am in the form. And then I can use this. I can use my keyboard. I can use my keyboard again to get through the form really easily. I can navigate this drop down. I can tab into the comment, and I can even get into the Google reCAPTCHA and hit I'm not a robot. Let's submit that. And lastly, the really good thing about this form is that the errors are extremely obvious. I know exactly which forms here I need to fill out before I can submit this form. Not only are they using color to indicate where the errors are, so look, they've got like a pinkish red border. They've got this pinkish red little pop-up that shows up below the form, but they're also using text here. So it's not just color to indicate an error, it's color and the text saying that name is required, email is required, and question or comment is required. It's just really easy to understand. So obviously the reason that you want to make something so accessible like this and easy to understand is for people who may have some cognitive disabilities, and as well as, you know, there's the contrast things in here with not just using color to indicate an error for those with visual disabilities. And the best part about it, honestly, is that this makes it a very easy experience for everybody else. It's just smooth, it's efficient, it's obvious, nobody gets hung up on anything. It's good for everyone. And that kind of stuff makes me really happy. So my final score for this website, honestly, it's an A+. They nailed it. I give them an A+. They really aced it. They put so much thought and time and care into creating an experience that everyone can enjoy and everyone can navigate this website. And I'm sure if I dug into the code, if I had my developers dig into the code, they would find a lot of great things in there. But just from what I see looking at the basics, you just know that they've put a lot of thought and care into this. And so good job, Parramatta Park. I'm proud of you. We do have an upcoming accessibility webinar, so check out our events page for that. And then if you need your own accessibility audit, we can spin through your site and find the things that are wrong and fix the things for you. So give us a shout. Okay, bye.